Hello! You're listening to the Oklahoma Onstage podcast, the online source for all things theater in Oklahoma. We're glad you've joined us. We would love to hear your feedback, so drop us an email at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com or use the comment form on our website, which is oklahomaonstage.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, and leave us a rating and review. It would really help us out. Now, sit back and relax. Another great episode starts right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Oklahoma On Stage. I'm Tim, as your host. Today, it's a little bit different. Every now and then, a young performer makes you stop and think, wait, what? Today's episode is kind of special because I'm sitting down with a young lady that I have literally known her whole life. She's come a long way in a short amount of time, and now she's out there leading shows, carrying roles far beyond her years, and building a theater career before she can even drive. She's a sophomore at Edmond North High School who's already played Annie, Elle Woods, Katie Heron, Little Red twice, and Ariel, and is now stepping into the role of Eurydice in Hadestown. She's talented, driven, going faster than a lot of adults in this industry, and her story is just getting started. So, Oklahoma On Stage family, please join me in welcoming Mazie Lightfoot to the podcast.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. This is kind of exciting. This is kind of been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah.
When I first started doing this, I interviewed a teenager. And right after that, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Mazie. So this is a lot of fun. So what's it like to be a young artist, a young actress with a whole resume already behind you?
It's very fun because I get to try out a bunch of different roles, because as fun as playing a lead role is, ensemble is still so fun, and little roles are still fun. Every role I get to play is still so fun to me, and it's just fun. Yeah.
And you got to hold on to that. The minute it stops being fun, you're done.
Right.
So before we dive into this rabbit hole that we call theater, what's life for Mazie like off stage?
It's just kind of not boring necessarily, but I think my entire life is basically theater. So I do choir still, but theater's my life. So whenever I'm not doing theater, I'm either reading my Bible or sitting in bed. That's about it.
Very cool. That will change, I guarantee. So you like to sing. I know that for a fact. When did you first realize that you liked singing?
Well, my mom told me that I started singing before I started talking, so I'm assuming fresh out the womb that clicked in my brain. But just growing up, I've always been a singer, so I've just had that stick with me my entire life. So
okay, cool. So what was the first moment that you decided I want to give this acting thing a try?
Okay, I was in the 4th grade, and my school was doing a production of Oh Little Town of Bethlehem, and there was a role, and I was like, ooh, this kind of sounds fun to do. And so I auditioned for it, and I got the role, and I was like, I want to keep doing this. This is so fun. And it was so fun trying on all the costumes and being up in the bright lights and getting to sing for an audience. I was still scared, but I thought it was so fun and exciting.
You like the spotlight, don't you?
Kind of.
Don't kid yourself. That's what we all do. I mean, we can all say, you know, we do it for this or that. We live for the applause. That's just what it is. So, so early on, getting started, you know, in this walk, who were some of the people who encouraged you or helped you find who you were as an actress?
Definitely like my parents. They were very, very supportive about everything. And Miss Flood played a huge part in all of that because she was like the first person who ever casted me in like an actual show. And she would tell me every day. We were doing Murder at the Malt Shop, and I was like a little choir girl. And she told me every single day that I should audition for Annie. And she like just truly just gave me my passion for doing it now. Honestly, I think for her, like without her, I probably wouldn't still be doing theater. I'd probably be doing something else.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So, well, we talked about the little town of Bethlehem, but aside from that, what was your first role on stage?
My first role was a choir girl in Murder in the Malt Shop, which is a play about a murder in the malt shop. And it's like a very kiddish play. They all have like very ironic names. There's like Jim Shorts and like Gingivitis. Like it's silly. And they had to add in the choir girls because they had so many people audition. But my first like named role was Annie in Annie Jr.
Okay. So we'll jump to Annie since that was your first lead role. What was that experience like for you?
It was the most fun I think I ever had in my entire life at that point. Like, just being able to do what I loved and being surrounded by people who were like, didn't think it was weird that I was like singing all the time or like, you know, making like certain jokes or something. They like just laughed with me and sang with me. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And it was just such like a fun experience because we had dancing and I'd like never been a dancer. So it was like first introduced into doing choreography and stuff. And it taught me how to like show emotion when acting because there's like a sad part. And so it was just so fun and cool. And I've met some of my best friends from doing Annie that I'm still friends with today.
That's what theater does. You still dance?
Only in shows.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. So, as we said, you're 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When was the malt shop show? When was that?
That was 6th grade. So I was still, it was in October. So I had just turned 11.
So you've literally been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
So 4 years, you've already played some very huge roles, filled some very big footsteps. Annie, Elle Woods, Little Red, Katie Heron, Ariel. So when you look back at that list, back at those shows that you've done so far, which one stands out to you the most?
I think, okay, I have two.
Okay.
Katie Heron was my first like lead role at Stage 405, like my first big one. It was also my first big like belting role, and that's like kind of been like my thing in the past couple of years. And it helped me like she has such like character development, so I had to learn how to play like basically kind of two characters because there's like this naive character at first, and then she turns mean, and then she's like back to like nice and stuff. So I thought that was so fun, and then that experience also was just fun. And then Ariel in Footloose, she's very emotional, very like her like crazy parents, like very like yes, very emotional. So I had to learn how to show a lot more emotion and anger, which I've never played like an angry role, but hers was very angry and like stern, which has helped me with Eurydice too, that I'm playing right now. So those two have both helped me also as a singer because Ariel was fun as a singer too.
Okay. All right. So out of those roles that you played, which one would you say challenged you the most?
Right now, like Eurydice right now is definitely very challenging because not only are the songs very hard, but she goes through like so much, like there's so much acting behind it too. And so it's very different, but I really like it a lot.
Good. Good. So you played Little Red twice. What brought you back to play that role again?
So I've always loved Into the Woods. It's like always been one of my favorite musicals, and I loved it so much in middle school. And so whenever I heard my freshman year in high school that they were doing it again, I was like, this is my chance, like, to play that role again. And so I auditioned, and I was so sure I was not going to get it because I was a freshman, and I got so excited whenever I saw the cast list. Like, there's a video of me literally squealing. I, like, jumped up and squealed. And so, like, it was just so fun. And also, in middle school, we did the only Act 1 version. So, Little Red in Act 2, like, it's devastating. Like, her parents are dead, her granny's dead, like, everyone's dead. And, spoiler alert, sorry. But it was just different, but still the same. And I think that was good for my freshman year, because I was still, like, learning the ropes of high school and stuff. So, that was still good.
Okay. So aside from the spoilers that you just gave us, one of the things that as a director and everything that I teach is to try to do everything you can to keep it fresh in your mind. Every time you go on stage, keep it fresh. So what did you discover the second time you played Red that you didn't discover the first time?
Probably, like, I don't know. That's a good question. She's, like, a little bratty, like, to be honest. I know that sounds silly, but, like, I didn't really play her bratty in middle school, but as soon as I read the script in high school, I was like, oh, wow, okay, cool. And I also realized how much she eats. She eats a lot.
Okay. Sometimes our perspective changes and we see things that we didn't see before. So what's the difference between playing a classic role like Annie, and then turning around and playing something more modern like Katie Herring?
It's very, very different because, like, everybody knows who Annie is. It's like, oh, yeah, obviously, like, I know what's about to happen. And everyone's like, it's kind of not predictable, but everyone knows the story of Annie. And with Katie, people have seen Mean Girls, but, like, they haven't seen the musical. So it was exciting to, like, be able to show off something newer and, like, new, because Mean Girls is a newer musical. And so that was exciting. But also doing a classic role, it's just, like, I don't know, it makes your heart feel good. Because, like, I feel like more older musicals, they, like, are warmer. I know that sounds, like, weird, but they feel, like, more warmth in the stories and stuff. So.
I like that. I'm a sucker for classics anyway, so yeah. So when you take on a lead role like this, you've done several now. When you take on that lead role, what is your process? How do you start to build that character?
So I usually, like, before rehearsals even start, I always go through the script and, like, get an idea of what is going on if I don't already know, like, the story. And then I always am, like, I try not to make it, like, a big deal. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I try not to make it, like, a huge deal to evaluate with people. Just, like, chill. I don't really memorize lines very well, so I always have to, like, run through blocking, because that's how I memorize things. It's like, wherever I am on stage, that's how I know. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to say this line, and stuff like that. And I listen to the songs over and over again. Like, for Hadestown right now, like, the entire show is just on Spotify, so I just listen to Spotify.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get it. I tend to not memorize very well until I get into the blocking as well. So I'm right there with you. Okay, so you just wrapped up Mary Poppins at Edmond North. What was that experience like for you?
That experience, it was very fun, and it was very challenging in a way too, because even though I was, like, a very smaller role, it is such a huge show. And so, like, we had rehearsals on Tech Week till 10:15 at night. Like, there was nights where I didn't get home until, like, 11. It was crazy. But it taught me, like, how to deal with stress better and how to deal with, like, bigger musicals and stuff, and how to dance with a crazy wig on. So.
And what did you play in Mary Poppins?
I was Fanny. I was one of the talking shop owner's daughters, and I was also a chimney sweep, so I had to be, like, a little boy. And also that show taught me how to dance better, because that dancing was insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
So big time choreography.
Yes.
So did you have a special choreographer, or did Dylan teach you?
Yes. Her name's Natasha. I don't know her last name, but
Okay.
she always comes and choreographs all the shows at North, and she's a very good choreographer.
Okay, very cool. So what would you say is special about the community at Edmond North?
I think it's how close we all get because we get to spend like the whole school year with each other. And I think that like, and it's also very bittersweet too because like the seniors they're leaving, like, but then you're also like getting new friends. And it's just like, it's very bittersweet. That's all I'll say. But they're very welcoming and Raspberry is so like welcomes everybody with like open arms and it's just very fun. We all like laugh with each other, cry with each other. It's just a very, very good community.
So what would you say is different between Edmond North and Stage 405?
I think people at Edmond North know each other a little bit better just because we spend every single day of the week with each other. But at 405, I think that more people are like closer, I guess. Like I say, like friends that you wouldn't expect to be friends with here are like you're closer with them. Because I've met some very unexpected friends at Stage 405, which I love.
That's very cool. So, and I guess this actually kind of goes back to our previous question. Is there a teacher or director who has made a big impact on you through all of this?
Definitely Miss Flood and Miss Rock. They helped me with my acting and singing so much. And Miss Jones has helped me a lot with my like tech stuff. Because even though I am an actor, I love doing tech. Like I think tech is so cool. But but all three of them have just helped me grow so much like into myself as like a person and as a performer.
Oh, that's very cool. So shifting gears just a little bit, you've played all of these roles, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, all have been fairly lighthearted roles. You know, Annie and Little Red and Elle Woods and all of that. They're all kind of fun, lighthearted. But then you shift into Eurydice.
Yes.
It's a pretty big lift.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody so young. Not that you're not capable, but still. What drew you to this heavy of a role?
I think it was just the challenge of playing like a deeper role because I've always been kind of typecasted, I guess, as like someone as like the sweet like la 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 girl. Like that's the best way I can explain it. But Eurydice is very stern and hard, and I really liked that about her. And I was like, I kind of want like a little challenge. So I auditioned for her, not expecting anything, and sure enough, got it.
There you go. So what do you like best about Eurydice?
I like seeing her heart change as she starts to like kind of fall in love with Orpheus, because like when we first see her, she's very hard-headed and stern, and she kind of looks dangerous almost. But by like the end, she's so like she just brightens up almost, and I think that's a really beautiful story.
It is a beautiful story. So Hadestown's a very different tone from other shows that you've done. How did you prepare for this character differently than you prepared for any of the others that you've done?
I definitely worked on like trying to be darker, like on a singing note. I try to be darker with my tone and stuff like that, and more like hard because again I've always played like the lighter roles. And then like acting wise, I just focused on like her story and how like she's like poor and she's going through hard times, and so she has to do something that she like never thought she'd do to, just like save herself almost. And I've just been focusing on that and how that might impact like me if it happened in real life or something. So that's how I've been kind of preparing.
So how challenging was it to play a role like this, dealing with emotions and things that you've never dealt with?
I think it's That's also a really good question. I can kind of like draw some things from my life into it to just to add a little bit more emotion, but I think just really like putting it into perspective of my life, it's just like kind of not making up scenarios necessarily, but like, just being like, wow, if this were to happen to me, how would I be reacting? And so that's kind of how I've been.
The what if game
Pretty much.
can be a lot of fun, and it can be a very helpful tool. So in playing this role, what has been the hardest part about Eurydice? Has it been the vocals, the acting, the emotions? What's been the hardest thing for you?
Definitely the vocals, because there's one little note in Wait For Me reprise, and it is so hard, but it's also helped me work harder because I've been working on these songs, like all of these songs, since like January. And all of these songs are things that I never thought I'd be able to sing in like my entire life, and I'm somehow doing it okay. So I think vocally has been the most challenging, but it's been really fun.
Now, do you read sheet music or do you sing by ear?
Both. If I can, I'll sing by ear, but sheet music is definitely helpful whenever it comes to like those very specific notes that sometimes you can't hear on a recording, and that make it cool.
Okay, very cool. So through this journey with Eurydice, again, we're talking about the emotions and all of that. What have you learned about yourself through this?
Ooh. Definitely like how much like love can change a person, because like looking at her, I was kind of looking back on myself and I was like, oh wow, like I was like back in middle school, I was very kind of hard-headed too, and like I know, but it did, like really deep down I was very like hard-headed, like you know what I mean? So like having love and like a community and friends and all that stuff, it's helped me like blossom, I guess. I don't know. And that's kind of what Eurydice does too. And yeah.
Okay. All right. So is there a moment in the show that hits you hardest?
Yes, but it's a spoiler.
Okay. That's all we need to know then. So what would you say is the hardest part of being a young performer in society today?
I think it's the competition, because people, like teenagers are very competitive as it is, especially being a female in theater, because like girls are also very competitive secretly. And so just like the competition, and I've had times where I like feel like I can't be friends with people because of like the competition, which I think is silly, but like that's how it is sometimes. And sometimes people just like don't want to be your friend because they see you as competition for this. But I'm like, we're all just doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah, you don't have to be that way. So yeah, I mean, it's yes, we're all competing to try to get the same roles, but at the same time, we're all in the theater family. We're all in the theater community, so we need to support each other. So how do you balance school, social life, and theater without getting burnt out?
it's actually taken me like this year is like the first year I have not gotten burnt out yet, because like in the past years I didn't know how to like really balance anything. Like if I had rehearsals, I'd practice my lines instead of doing homework that I really needed to do, or like sometimes at rehearsals I'll talk to my friends too much or something like that. So just knowing like when you need to be serious about certain things and knowing what your priorities are in life is like the biggest thing that's helped me with balance.
Okay. You talked a while ago about, the show helping you deal with stress better.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about dealing with stress?
Usually, well, crying's a really good one, but I don't usually cry. Usually if I'm really, really stressed out, I will just like pray, and I will just sit in my bed and think about all the things that are stressing me out, and then realize that they're just little problems. They're not really anything.
to have that mindset, Wow.
It's taking me a long time to have that mindset. And sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the times, it works pretty well.
So, do you ever deal with nerves
Yes, I have
before a show?
the literal worst stage fright, but no one knows. Like, I am a person who's, like, physically shaking when she's on stage. Like, in Mean Girls, the first song that we sing, I was having a full-blown, like, panic attack while singing, but I still had to, like, power through, so I was like, okay. So I just kind of shoved it in the back of my mind, and I was like, you gotta perform. So, I just kind of have the mindset of, like, all these people are paying to watch you right now, so you can't, like, be nervous.
I mean, we are human. I mean, things happen, but yeah, I think that's really good. And a lot of people, as they get older, still have those issues, and having that mindset of being able to deal with it like that, that's what a lot of people don't have. So kudos to you. So what do your friends think about, I know you said you've got a lot of friends here, you've got friends at Edmond North. As a whole, what do your friends think about your theater life?
A lot of my friends think it's kind of crazy. Like, my friends who are in theater, they're like, you had rehearsals until 10:15 at night? Like, you didn't get home till what time? But, like, at the same time, whenever they come and see the shows and stuff, they're like, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like, that was really cool. And so I think, and also, like, they know that I enjoy it so much, so they're, like, happy for me too. So they do think it's a little silly at sometimes whenever we, like, look crazy on stage or whenever we have rehearsals until late at night, but they think it's all worth it.
That's okay. We think we're crazy too. So,
Right.
It's just, we are crazy, but you know what? We do it because we love it.
Right.
What is something that you wish adults understood about teen performers?
All of, like, the pressure and competition that there is. Because there's definitely more pressure, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an adult. But I feel like there's a lot more pressure as a teenager than, like, a adult actor. Because, like, teenagers, you, like, expect them to be good whenever they're in a good part. Well, at least, like, most people do. And so, and you kind of know that the adults are going to be good because, like, they've been doing this for a long time. And so, and also, like, the competition about it, because, like, this is insane, but one time when I was in the 6th grade, this girl found out I was Annie and her friend was my understudy, and she threatened to push me down a flight of stairs so her friend could be Annie. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so the competition is definitely there, and I think a lot of people, like, a lot of directors kind of push it aside almost and be like, just, it's okay, but it's a little crazy.
Yeah. And no, don't always expect people to be good. Just grain of sand right there, grain of salt. I just kind of, they're not always good. I've seen a few shows where you get the mindset of this show ought to be this, and it's not.
Me too.
So, yeah. So, like I said, you had a lot come up to this point. I said you've got a whole resume behind you. Let's look ahead a little bit. What's a dream role that you would love to play someday?
I really want to play Elle Woods again, because I want to be her again so badly. She was so fun, and I'm like, she's like the dead wife that I mourn. Like, I miss her.
Never heard that before, but okay.
And I would also love to be Sandy in Grease. I love that. Like, I love Hopelessly Devoted, and I love that song so much. And one I don't think I will ever be able to play, unfortunately, Cherry in The Outsiders, the musical. I fell in love with her whenever I heard all the songs and I saw it, like, on Broadway. I was like, oh, I want to be her. Oh, I want to be her really
so
badly.
why would you say that you would probably never get to play her?
Well, I would have to be on, as of now, I'd have to be on Broadway to do that. And I don't know if The Outsiders are going to be on Broadway whenever I'm of age to be on Broadway. And unless the rights for The Outsiders come out soon, in which case, maybe.
You're a sophomore. Rights will probably be available before you get out of high school. So, at least for the first round anyway.
Right.
it'll come back. But yeah, and never say never. Um, so do you see theater in your future after high school?
I think I do. I mean, it's not something that I want to like what is that word? Like do as like a job,
Oh, okay.
but okay, if we lived in a perfect world, I would do theater as a job. But
Most of
unfortunately
us
we
would,
don't.
yeah.
Yes. So, I do see a little bit of it in my life, and I hope that maybe like my kids will do theater and I can be like a crazy theater mom or something, or I can do like little community shows here and there whenever I'm older. So, hopefully a little bit of it still.
I'll tell your mom about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, always keep it open. So, if you could work with any director, actor, or theater company in the world that you know of right now, who would it be?
Ooh, that's so hard. I think I would want to work with that's so hard. I'd probably want to work with Jeremy Jordan's definitely up there. Because he looks really funny. Like not funny looking, but like he looks he
That
looks like
came out
a
well.
funny guy. And Eva, how do you say her name? Eva Nebulosa? The original Eurydice.
Okay.
She looks like such a fun gal, and I'd love to be in a show with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't count it out. I will tell you right now, we have a good friend of ours. Well, we have a friend of ours. I'll say good friend. We haven't talked to her in a long time, but a friend of ours that actually was just on Broadway with Kristen Chenoweth in The Queen of Versailles.
Love Kristen Chenoweth.
And she's from Shawnee. So, yeah. So, it's possible. It can happen. So, what kind of stories do you want to tell as you grow as an artist?
Like what kind of like plays and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we're storytellers.
Yeah.
So, is it just, the feel good Annie and that type of stuff, or is it, you want something deeper?
I love the deep plays. I love like being emotional on stage, and I love whenever I see like emotional like stuff, but I also do really love like the fun stuff. So I think honestly like a mix of both. Like I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of like a good example. Like The Outsiders is like a goofy yet sad story.
It is.
In a way.
It's got ups, it's got downs.
Yeah.
It's a very good story. I mean, and whether you're talking the book, you're talking the movie, you're talking the musical, whatever, it's a really, really good story. So, but yeah, I always said I want to make people think. And I mean, yes, I want to entertain. I want people to have a good time also, but I want to challenge them. I want to make them think. And so that's always a good thing. So as I've come to the end of the questions that I've got. What we do on our show as we wrap up is we have a section at the end that we call our curtain call curveballs. And you've
yes.
I'm guessing Miss Flood told you about these?
No, I listened.
Oh, you listened?
I listened? Yes, I
listened.
listened.
So it was you. Okay. You're the one. Okay. Well, I'm very impressed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So basically what these are is they're just fast, off the top of your head, just off the wall. Some may be about theater, some may not. And so they're going to be from all over the place. So it's the first thing that pops into your head. Okay. If you could live inside any musical world for one day, which one would you choose?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I have to go with Wicked.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to go to Shiz. That sounds so fun.
Sure. And who wouldn't want to live in Oz?
Right.
I mean, why not? If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Probably either teleportation would be very nifty, and invisibility, 1000%.
Why?
Well, teleportation, easy, quick, wherever I want.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't drive either, so easy. invisibility because I don't know. I like eavesdropping. And I can scare people.
She's a creeper. Okay. Which character that you've played so far is most like you in real life?
Ariel in Footloose, because she's very like it's hard. She's very southern, which I'm not very, very southern, but like whenever I'm tired, I'm very, very southern. And she's very fun and like, but also has like emotions, right?
Just so you know, we're not southern, we're Hicks.
Yeah.
So, just that's what everybody else thinks anyway. So, if you had a theme song that played every time you walked onto the theater, what would it be?
Every time I walked in.
Just walked in.
Oh.
Your entrance music.
Oh, that's so hard. I don't know. Maybe. I think it'd be You're So Vain. It's like You're So Vain. Not like, but it's just like such a fun song. Not in like a bad way, but like it's such a fun song.
Her vanity is kicking in. There you go. Okay. So what is your go-to hype snack before a show?
Go-to hype snack? Ooh, I love Brahms French fries. I'm always seeming to get Brahms before shows and stuff. I don't know why. Or, yeah, that's probably it. Brahms.
There you go. If you could be any fictional character for 24 hours, who would it be? And why?
Pink Delicious.
Okay.
She lives in like a magical fairy world where she's like, or Fancy Nancy, change my mind, Fancy Nancy. She's who I want to be when I grow up. She has red, big, curly hair, and she dresses amazingly. And yeah, Fancy Nancy.
Okay. Just curl your hair and live fancy. There you go. So I told you we would talk about this a little bit. If you weren't doing theater, what would your creative outlet be?
I'd probably like do music because my dad's a music producer and I've always loved like writing and songs and like playing my guitar and playing the piano and stuff. So I'd probably be doing something like that and choir, but I already kind of do that.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you wanted to do theater, but you knew you probably wouldn't do it for a career. What are you thinking for your career?
I really want to be a nurse or like work in the medical field in some way because I've grown up in the medical field so much. So like, I just like have admired it so much.
It's not really the way you want to be introduced to the medical field. But,
Yeah, correct. But it's, yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I got for today. Do you have any parting words of wisdom for the young people listening?
I'd say have fun. Not everything is that serious. And you only live once. YOLO.
YOLO. Mazie, you're awesome. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Like I said, you've come a long way in a short amount of time. I can't wait to see where it ends up. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this. For everybody else listening at home, thank you for giving a little bit of your time, whether it be in your car, in your home, or at your job. We thank you for just giving us just a little bit of slice of your life. We ask that you join us on Oklahoma On Stage, whether it be social media, Facebook or Instagram, even YouTube, or on our website, oklahomaonstage.org. But no matter what you do or where you go, please continue to support the arts.